Hi, it's Lynn Shuck, and we're looking at table and incline with the most basic of instructions, very specifically to get people out of overusing these muscles in the upper back. Often when people are on all fours, whatever the position, we use our strongest muscles, and most of us are actually really strong up here because we spend so much time here. And so people go into table and they're held up a little bit. Plus there's been that instruction forever to have a flat back. So people lift everything to create that flat back. The front of the body is supposed to be supporting you in these poses. So just simple instructions here. I want you to draw your shoulder blades toward each other. You can see my chest lowering and you start to see some curve in the back of my body. And then I'm going to think of reaching my head and tailbone away from each other. Now I have other videos about what the arms are doing in table, but right now, just to get that upper back in a better position, I've got my palms on the floor, I've got my shoulder blades pulling toward each other, and as I reach my head and tailbone away from each other, I can feel the front of my body doing the work of holding me up. If I pull my shoulder blades apart, there's not much happening in the front of my body. I could say, engage your core, but it's not what's doing the work, and it should be. And if I draw my shoulder blades onto my back, my core will be. If you're somebody who tends to really hyper extend in the lumbar, pull that pelvis to neutral. There's a little lumbar curve, and think of lower ribs, just these very lower ribs pulling toward your spine. Notice I didn't move my pelvis to pull those in. If I hold on to those instructions and curl my toes under and come to incline, it's the same thing. People do incline with their shoulders pulled apart, and there's not much going on in the front of my body. If I draw my shoulder blades onto my back, suddenly my belly has to engage. And then if I reach my head and heels away from each other, now a whole lot of muscles come into play. So that's it. Try and get those shoulder blades onto your back. Try and extend your spine. See what happens. See what responds to the actions of the bones instead of trying to clench some muscles to hold you in place. Let's see if we can position ourselves so that what's supposed to work works.